There's something powerful about silence, something that time knows how to reveal in a way that words never could. When you stop chasing an avoidant, you stop interrupting their lessons. You stop rescuing them from the pain that's meant to wake them up. Avoidants don't learn through closeness. They learn through distance. They don't grow from being comforted. They grow from realizing what that comfort meant once it's gone. And time becomes their mirror, because the longer they go without your presence, the louder your absence becomes. At first, they won't feel it. They'll distract themselves. They'll convince their mind that the space feels peaceful, that they've regained control. But avoidance isn't peace. It's delay, and delay always catches up. Because love doesn't disappear. It only hides beneath denial, waiting for silence to become unbearable. You see, avoidants often confuse relief with healing. When you walk away, they feel relief, a break from emotional intensity. But soon that relief turns hollow. It becomes the ache of missing something they couldn't name while they had it. That's when time begins its quiet work. Because the time, when combined with absence, creates clarity. Days turn into weeks. The noise of distraction fades, and suddenly they remember your energy. The calm in your voice, the steadiness in your presence, the safety they couldn't recognize because they were too afraid to need it. Avoidants remember peace more than passion, and the peace you brought becomes the one thing they can't replicate anywhere else. Let time do what your words never could. Because every message you didn't send, every explanation you withheld, every time you chose silence instead of chasing, you allowed time to speak for you, and time speaks with truth. It exposes illusions. It strips away ego. It reveals what was real all along. At some point, you'll start to feel it. The space that once felt safe now feels like punishment. Not because you're gone, but because he finally sees that your presence never tried to control him. It tried to meet him, and the love he ran from was the only love that could have healed him. Avoidance don't realize what they've lost until the energy of your calm no longer surrounds them. They think they wanted distance, but what they really wanted was freedom without loss. And that doesn't exist, because love always leaves an imprint, and the deeper the bond, the longer time takes to process it. So you don't need to chase, you don't need to prove, and you definitely don't need to rush his awakening. Let time break him gently. Let silence show him what your words could never convince him of. The more time passes, the more he realizes that avoidance was never peace. It was self-sabotaged, dressed as control. And here's the beauty of it all. Your healing doesn't depend on whether he returns. Your peace began the moment you stopped fighting for someone who wasn't ready to stay. You broke the pattern, not by force, but by release. You stepped into your higher self, the version of you that doesn't chase love. You embody it. Time will always be his teacher, but peace will always be yours. So while he's learning through absence, you're healing through presence. Your own presence. You're discovering what it feels like to be grounded in your worth without needing validation. You're realizing that silence wasn't the end of the story. It was the beginning of your awakening. And one day, maybe he'll come back. Maybe he won't. But either way, you'll know that you never needed him to understand your value. Time already did that for you. Because the longer an avoidant goes without your energy, the more they remember that it wasn't pressure, it was peace. And peace doesn't leave a void, it leaves a lesson. Let time do its work. Let silence speak your truth. Because love doesn't need to be chased, only remembered.